Hey guys, this is 911 Gadgets. Today I'm going to show you how to change the thermal paste on a laptop. It is recommended to do this every 2 to 3 years so it doesn't overheat. Please be sure to subscribe so you can help out our channel. Okay, so we're going to start off by disassembling the laptop so we can get to the motherboard. And if you're not sure how to do it, just Google or search on YouTube your model number and there should be some videos or some tutorials on how to disassemble your computer.
If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you,
Okay, so here I went ahead and I left the motherboard plugged in. You can unplug it. That's just the DC jack input. I went ahead and just left it plugged in. As you can see here, we have our fan and our heatsink. That copper stuff that you see, that's your heatsink or heat shield, along with the CPU processor shield. If you can see here, the fan looks pretty dirty. I'm gonna scratch it off a little bit and see, so you guys can kind of get a look. You see how that it's all dust and build up. Alright, here we have the new fan. If you can see, look at how clean that fan looks compared to the one I just showed you that's underneath that new one. So that copper is connected to the fan and to the processor shield. There's thermal paste between that shield and the processor. So we're gonna go ahead and start unscrewing the shield. So there's gonna be 4 screws, and that's in every laptop, every desktop. There's 4 screws holding that shield against the processor where the thermal paste resides in.
eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop.
Right here, there's a little piece of adhesive that is holding the fan together. You can see there with my screwdriver. I kind of start picking at it and it'll come off of the fan right there.
It's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through?
Now there's also a connector, which is the fan's connector. It's right underneath there, the board, you see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug that. Don't forget to plug it back in. Don't forget to plug anything back in. So be very careful and triple check all your connections. As you can see there, that's the thermal paste, and it should be pasty, and in this case it's already kind of hard and not rock solid on this one, but it's very dry, and if you can see, it just kind of comes apart. Like, it shouldn't do that. So you want to clean it, you know, scrape it off, clean it with a paper towel and alcohol, and that's it. Go ahead and start doing the processor now. Clean that up, and we're gonna go ahead and apply new thermal paste to this processor. Right here, I'm simply using a plastic pick to scrape off the old thermal paste that became kind of solid, kind of just stuck to it. Now, a lot of times you can just clean the fan instead of replacing it. In this case, this fan was making a strange noise, which I might have gotten fixed if I cleaned the fan, because I'm thinking the fact that the fan was dirty and full of that buildup, it was causing it to unbalance, so that's why I was making a sound. But I went ahead and I just ordered a new fan for my customer. It was only 20 bucks, and they were okay with that. So We're going to go and put a new fan on this one, but if you're just changing the thermal paste, you can always just clean your fan a little bit and you should be fine. And always, if you're going to clean your fan and if you're going to blow it, you must hold it in place. Don't let it spin on its own, because that's bad for the motor. So you want to hold it in place with your fingers and then blow it out if you want, or brush it and stuff like that. Okay, so right here there's a piece of tape. You remove that. You can try to reuse it, but I recommend just grab a piece of electrical tape and replacing it with that. So this is where the fun part's at. So a lot of times this vent is super clogged up. As you can see here, this corner is very clogged and the rest of the vent is also kind of clogged, but there's some cases where this layer of buildup and lint is super thick. So here we have both fans. We got the old one on the left and the new one on the right. And this is how you can clean the fans as well. You see, you just kind of pull it out like that. You don't want to use like alcohol or anything on the actual copper that was underneath there. You see how I'm spinning it? Well, you're not supposed to do that. I'm just spinning it because we're not going to use this one. This is going to go to the recycle bin. But yeah, so that's how you can clean your fan. You can just pull it out and start brushing it, and you should be good. Go ahead and brush this vent out over at my trash can, and here we have the final result after I brushed it. You can actually see through the vent now, and that's what you want, okay? Because before you could not see through it. Once you do that, you should be good. Sometimes the little vents get a little bent. You can just unbend them. They're real easy, real fragile. So here comes the new fan. We're gonna go and install the new fan, and once we're done installing the new fan, we can proceed to applying the new thermal paste. Okay, so I use Arctic Silver 5. I've been using that for a long time. I did a lot of research on thermal paste when I first started, and I have not used a different one. So you want to go ahead and clean the processor one last time, and go ahead and just squeeze out a little dab of this thermal paste. And what I like to do is I like to get a business card and just cut a little piece, and then I start spreading the thermal paste with the business card. There's other methods of applying it. Some people say you just have to put a little dot in the center, and just once you put the heatsink on, it should automatically just spread. Now, I've been doing this for about 5 years now, and I've had no problems by spreading it. So I like to go ahead and spread it nice and evenly, and then I go ahead and I install the heatsink again. Okay, so now it's nice and spread out, and we're gonna grab our heatsink and go ahead and place on top of the CPU. And right here, you're supposed to screw on the screws from corner to corner, like diagonally. So if you saw there, I jumped from one corner to the exact opposite corner, and then you can go and do the same for the next screws. This is so that the heatsink can get installed evenly, you know, so the pressure can go evenly onto the CPU. Once you're done screwing on the heatsink, just make sure these screws are nice and tight. You can begin the reassembly. Now please be careful, don't forget to plug in the fan, okay? And don't forget to plug in anything for that matter. Okay, once the reassembly is completed, we will put on our battery and we will turn on the computer to make sure that it turns on and everything's working properly, making sure we didn't forget to plug in anything. So once it's on, I like to hold the vent close to my ear. I hear out for the fan, and sure enough, you can feel it, you can hear it, it sounds good. It doesn't sound like it used to, and the airflow is coming out nicely. So this is how you replace the thermal paste on basically any laptop. Peace out. If this video helped you in any way, please subscribe and comment if you have any other questions. Thank you very much. See you on the next video.